Hi everyone, today's video is going to be about safety in robotics. Because we all know that robotics can be really fun, but with motors and metal parts, it can get really dangerous really quickly. So it's always good to be careful and always be aware of anything that could happen because safety is always the number one thing. So number one, always wear your goggles. I know they may not be the most glamorous thing in the world to wear, but it's always good to be safe rather than sorry. Because you never know when something might come flying off or your finger slips or something, and you always just want to have those goggles on, so in case anything happens, you save yourself from getting a really bad eye injury that could be really hard to heal or anything like that. I actually have a pretty embarrassing experience about this. At the Indy Speedway event, I was driving and I actually hit my sister with the robot because I just swung it really fast or something, and she got hit. Luckily, this clip was cut from the live stream, so it was never shown, but I have personal footage, so I guess I'll show it to you guys now because it's a really good example of why you should wear your goggles. And if this video doesn't convince you to wear your goggles, I really don't know what will.
Yeah, just the clamp type of idea.
Over here in match number 80 on the red side, 6210W, Heritage Christian.
So yeah, stuff happens in robotics that you would never expect, so you just always have to be careful and always wear your goggles to just save you in case of emergency when you really need it. For example, if you see my computer here, I'll hold it up to the camera, you'll see that there are some scratches here where the paint is gone. Yeah, that's because of robotics. Because I was sitting on the field basically programming my autonomous program, and I guess I made the robot overturn and then I forgot to turn off the drive function. So it just kept going in my direction, and before I could move, my computer got scratched and I got a pretty bad cut trying to turn it off. So yeah, don't do that. Especially now that the V5 system has wireless downloading, there's really no need for you to be on the field where the robot is moving to program your autonomous programs or any program in general for that matter. And number two, pinch points. Pinch points are any types of moving parts that could pinch or crush your fingers or your skin, which is not fun. And so there are always parts to be aware of whenever you're doing anything regarding to the robot. And so you can avoid this by, when you're handling the robot, like carrying it in your arms or something, to make sure to always have it turned off or at least not running a program. So if someone's holding the controller, you don't accidentally push a button or something and make the robot just fly up into your face. And yeah, also be sure of any rubber band mechanisms you might have. Like in Tower Takeover, we had those big trays, right? And so if you wanted to carry it, you didn't want to have it folded down because maybe if you moved a little too suddenly, you might jolt it out and then the whole thing would just flip up in your face and you probably hit either yourself or someone else. So make sure that all your mechanisms are folded out or just at least, in their resting position, so there's no potential energy that can be released that can be created to kinetic energy to injure someone. And number three, sharp edges. So basically in Bex, we work with all these long 17.5 C channels because that's how they come to us when we buy them. And when we actually need to use them on a robot, we often have to cut them to shorter sizes to make them fit and have different functions. So you'll see that I have a bunch of cut pieces here, and these are some of the edges that I've made. So you'll see that these edges are all smooth to the touch. I'm comfortable touching them without actually accidentally cutting myself or anything like that. A good rule of thumb is that this cut edge should feel the same as to the machined edge that is delivered to you by Bex. It should feel the same, so you shouldn't be able to accidentally cut yourself when you touch it, basically. Another thing to be aware of is when you're cutting the steel pieces, because those can be harder to sand down. I actually don't recommend cutting them unless you absolutely have to, just because of how difficult it is. But if you have to, cut an axle or something, always make sure to sand it down thoroughly, because those can be the sharpest and most dangerous pieces that exist. Yeah. And so another reason to make sure you don't have any sharp edges, if not for your own safety, is for inspection and for competition. Because I've inspected robots before, and if I see a sharp edge, I will fail you. Yeah, so if you don't want to be sent back to the back of the line and told to sand down all your pieces, make sure to do it before competition, because the inspector will probably see it and probably fail you. Yeah, so don't run that risk. Because sharp edges are a danger to not only yourself, other people, and but also other robots as well. And number 4, wires. Sometimes wires can get exposed or frayed over time, especially if they're not secured correctly. And if it happens, it's no big deal. Don't beat yourself up over it. It's always a learning experience. So yeah, just make sure to check all your wires regularly to make sure that they're all working fine and everything is properly covered like it's supposed to, because you're still dealing with electricity, and so you should also always take the proper safety precautions around that. And yeah, that's about it of what I have to say about this topic. And if you guys want like a more detailed description, I guess, from the Beck's official website, I'll put the link down below. You can click on that for more safety guides. Yeah. So yeah, stay safe, do robotics. Bye!